Tricky from Friday Night Funkin' has come to Tabs. I have no clue how powerful he is. How about we find out? How's it going, guys? My name is Crow, and welcome back to a new video. Today, we're going to be checking out more units here in Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. And if you go over to the workshop, you hit browse, you go to the unit, and before you do that, you sort by subscribers so you find the more popular ones. You type in Tricky. Mr. Tricky. You see some interesting options, including this guy right here, and this guy right here, and many more. So what I've done is I've downloaded the more interesting looking ones, and I want to see which Trickies are better. And if you want to see me play Friday Night Funkin' sometime in the future, comment down below and give me a yes crow. If not, just give me a no crow. So I've downloaded a few of these Trickies. I've put them into a faction, and let's start with the base Tricky. This seems like the normal one. Now, I know he's from Friday Night Funkin', but I don't know his backstory. I don't know much about him. If you know some stuff about Tricky, maybe you can tell me in the comments below and give me a bit of a history lesson about Mr. Tricky himself and what he's doing in Friday Night Funkin'. So far, I see a clown that doesn't have arms, and that confuses me. Ooh, are the fists just attached to him by some form of wizardry? Is he a magician? He's a creepy clown with a clasp. Is that like some weird restricting mask? It doesn't look good. It looks kind of scary. And is that what's kind of happening here? This is an unhappy clown. Is this a terrifying clown? But how about we take this clown for a spin? Let me just go over here and we'll do the squire test. Just grab a bunch of squires. I'm assuming Tricky's pretty powerful. Worth 3,000 coins, so I will remove 4 squires. 3,000 coins versus 3,000 coins. And let's see what little old Tricky can do. Whoa, hold on. Oh, why are there fists on his fists? Is that normal? Or is that just a glitch in this game? Also, why is his leg coming out of his torso like that? What is going on? Okay, Tricky leaps in. Huge fire explosion as well as a shout ability, sending everyone flying. Tricky is throwing down with the fist. Huge fire explosion. Look at the squires going flying through the sky. That's fantastic. What is Friday Night Funkin'? From the screenshot I saw, it seemed like a rhythm game, a music rhythm game. So is that why it looks like Tricky is breakdancing? What is going on? It's so weird. It seems like, hold on, is anyone alive? Well, there was someone alive, but this Tricky got it. Let's check out another Tricky that's a little bit different than this one. Going back into my Tricky faction, here we have something called Tricky Skellington. It looks a lot like the previous Tricky, but this one has an evil crown on its head. And this one definitely looks like an evil clown. Like the last clown was kind of creepy. This one is just straight out of, some sort of nightmare. So the Tricky previously did a really good job. What if we do a Tricky versus Tricky fight? You want to see that? Let's try that. Let's try Tricky versus Tricky. Let's try this dark evil Tricky versus this green Tricky. And it seems like they have very similar builds. Wow, I just sent original Tricky flying. That was quick. That was really quick. Question is the green Tricky the original one? Or is what's the default Tricky look like? You know what? Maybe let's just play the game and then I'll figure this out on my own. Continue. Demon Tricky. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. This thing looks cool. Looks powerful. It looks like a giant statue that just wants to stomp you. Okay, let's do some pirates. Okay, pirates, and then yep, and then some bomb throwers, harpooners. This should be kind of funny. Let's see if we can actually harpoon this Demon Tricky. This should be hilarious. Demon Tricky versus the pirates. Demon Tricky going in. Huge slam bombs are being tossed in every direction. This poor bomb thrower is destroyed. This Demon Tricky is going to town. Necromancer ability. He has been harpooned by a handful of the harpoon units, but he's running in there. He's like lunging in and dropping explosions, dropping necromancer abilities, humongous shouts. Vicious. But if if Friday Night Funkin' is a rhythm dancing kind of game, what's up with this scary kind of horror element going on? I have a funny feeling that Demon Tricky is more powerful than the other Trickies, so we're gonna do a quick little fight of all these Trickies together before we move on to other ones that I have seen. Demon Tricky versus the evil and the normal Tricky. Look at the face on that thing. It's just horrifying. It's kind of hard to see the fight from this distance. Try and zoom out a little bit and take a better look at this fight. There is the evil Tricky. He is down. Blue victory, defeating red team, which means the two Trickies managed to defeat the Demon Tricky. What else do we have here? We have another normal Tricky. Oh, so this is more of a non-modified Tricky. This is if somebody tried to design Tricky without cheating the game or modifying the game. Interesting. What else do we have here? FNF Madness Combat Tricky Phase 4. So if you're playing the game, there's phases to Tricky, and Phase 4 is like Tricky with Tricky on his shoulders. Let's see what happens in this fight. A huge teleport. We have a Legacy Impale, Duplication, actually a bat ability doing Duplication. Crazy punches. I think that's the first Tricky. The little thin one is doing all those punches. Blue victory, defeated red team. And it was our duo Tricky, the Phase 4 Tricky, defeating this guy right here. Tricky Minion, Little Tricky, and regular Tricky. Okay, hold on. So we have a Tricky Minion. Oh, that was the dude on the back of the Phase 4 Tricky. And then we've got this Tricky here whose face is glowing. And then we got little mini Tricky. And it's the proper shape of Tricky. See, there's the disjointed hands, but it's just Whittle. He's just Whittle Tricky. Let's have them fight. There's the minion for Tricky. Little Tricky with a huge gust of breath air. The shout ability. Oh, the Tricky minion duplicated there for a little bit. I think our mini Tricky is down, and now it's the shiny face Tricky that is live. Actually, the shiny face Tricky does have the disjointed arm thing going on, but he doesn't have the low and short kind of body going on as well. So it's like a tall, thin version of the Tricky units that we've seen. So far, so good. So far, whoever has been developing these Tricky units, I think, has done a good job. I need you guys to comment down below. Kind of let me know, do some of these Trickies look good? Do they look bad? Do they suit what Tricky's supposed to be? Red victory, defeating the blue side. So this guy here is very powerful. Let's take him for a spin, shall we? We're over here on the simulation map. It seems that this Tricky right here is powerful. So we're just gonna grab more than a few. A little Tricky, this Tricky, and this Tricky. All the Trickies versus this Phase 4 Tricky. Now, they gotta be careful. If this Phase 4 Tricky gets hit while in bat form, he dies because the bats have no HP. But now we have a big multi-Tricky fight. Little mini Tricky is down. Over here, one of the Trickies has exploded and died. This evil Tricky with a short stubby one is still alive. The demon Tricky, the big is still alive. It seems like this shiny face Tricky is down with the disjointed arms. And I think our regular Tricky is down as well. No, that's evil Tricky. Demon Tricky's down. Red victory, defeated blue team. This Phase 4 Tricky, guys, is so powerful. It was able to take down all those Trickies combined. What do you think? Does that make sense? Is that any good? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.